Ladies and gentlemen, classmates, let us view serious reality of the setback. Education is one of the most valuable treasures here on earth that can't be taken away with anything. The knowledge, the learnings, the experiences that each individual gains from day-to-day experience is more likely of a wealth that even the richest person can have. Education is indeed power, but looking around us now, ladies and gentlemen, fellow students, can we still look forward to better quality education? Thus, the education we have right now is enough to be high quality. Why is it, in spite of the modern technologies that we have, there is still this deteriorating quality of education? My dear listeners, let me highlight some of the factors why there is this deteriorating quality of education in the Philippines, and what are the ways in which we can say that this should have been a proper education for every Filipino. Youth are said to be the hope and the leaders of our country, the country that we're living nowadays. Accordingly, education is the key to success. But how can we attain success if in the very first place we have a deteriorating quality of education? I can personally say that there are so many reasons why we suffer this way, and one of this is the type of government that we're having. I believe that somehow it has something to do with the questionable budgets of this education. I believe that this has something to do with the corruptions of these alleged corrupt leaders. I just can't imagine why there is this budget cut for education, yet there is an additional budget for some projects and sectors of the government that I think is not necessary for our country. How
Unborn
selfish
and
they could
wanted
be.
babies should
The
be
expected
legalized.
hope of this
Isang should be
country
aborted.
are no longer equipped
Kami
with
pa
proper
bang teatro?
education. Next is that
Unwanted and
the
born babies
teachers,
should be
the
legalized.
mentors, are no longer teaching Filipinos. Rather, they go abroad to seek fortunes and they just leave Filipinos and teach foreign people. I just don't get it, point. Do they wish the same wishes with ours? Are they also hoping of seeing Philippines? They go abroad because of their desire of having greener pastures. Greener pastures that they very well knew Philippines can offer. Because of the low salary given to them by the Philippine government, they seek their fortune and they prefer going abroad and putting at stake the quality of education in the Philippines. Based on my own personal experience, my dear ladies and gentlemen, the ratio of teachers to students is more likely one teacher is equivalent to 50 or 60 students. How crowded, right? The students of 16, I don't get the point of having them stuck in a classroom improperly ventilated. Another thing also is the fact that being stuck in a crowded classroom is due to the lack of spaces to be full classrooms. The availability of classrooms is due to another fact that there are too many students who enroll, though there is a lesser probability of acquiring good education in most public schools in both high school and elementary. Funny, isn't it? It's like a domino effect that makes a certain thing cause another dilemma and the latter to be the same. Before another point of this discussion, my dear listeners, I would like to say that aside from the malfunctions and the failures done by the government, another reason that I can say contributes to the deterioration of the quality of education in the Philippines. This time, I will be talking about the widespread poverty that presently exists in our country. People who suffer poverty, I would say, don't give much emphasis or allocate budget on education as part of their living. With this, I say that it is more likely difficult for them to send their children to schools which can give them good education. We're living in a third world country. Indeed, Philippines is a third world country and sending children to public schools even seem to be a problem to those people who are really living below poverty line. If we're going to do it more, my dear listeners, education always had a part in the government policies, but then it's sad to say, it's not. Unfortunately, because of the so many problems in the different offices, being part of the projects of the government seems sometimes neglected. Thus, this results to an ironic deterioration of the education system here in the Philippines. This will clearly give us a vision, my dear fellows, How poverty surely affects not just the lives of those who are earning a living, but majority to those students who are putting their studies at stake. Same scenarios, right? Many students equivalent to one teacher, one classroom, only few books. There is quantity over quality instead of having it the other way around. These students, already poorly educated as they are, with an environment not enough for conducive learning, have slim chances of getting better education than private institutions and state universities can provide. Classmates, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this time before I end my speech that it is education that determines the quality of labor force. The more equipped we are with knowledge, the higher the possibility we have of eradicating or lessening poverty. I hope that somehow all those factors that I mentioned enlighten our minds and help you realize how sad it is and how big it is to be a problem for our country that we have a deteriorating quality of education. I would say that the tomorrow's society is heavily dependent on what is taught in today's formal classrooms. As students, as leaders, as expected hosts of this country, we need to work hand in hand to help treat the ailing quality of education in our country. Before I go, I would like you to know that according to Napoleon Hill in one of his inspirational messages, there is one quality that one must possess today, and that is definiteness of purpose. The knowledge of what one wants and where one is. Good morning, more power to you, folks of this country.